One of the first things you're going to notice about the Strix B450 F gaming is going to be the aesthetics. The board definitely follows what we've seen now historically for our Strix series and ROG series of motherboards. It features a clean monochromatic color scheme which doesn't contend or compete with the colors you're going to want to be able to define in your build, whether that's going to be through integrated RGB lighting or whether it's going to be through accessories that you're going to put into your system. It features a nice smattering of different types of colors and tones, whether you're talking about black, silver, or gray. On top of that, this generation also introduces a subtle Cybertex print finish that we have on the PCB board, which just gives the board a little bit more of an edgy nature. In addition to this, we've also worked with our design team to offer you some flexibility in how you can approach actually the Cybertex-based design. On the FCH, you have the ability to go ahead and swap out the actual cover plate and go for something that adds a little bit of cover and reflectivity, but also you can actually go a bit more stealthy in matte black, and really the choice is up to you. And as always, with this being an ASUS series motherboard, it has full support for ASUS Aura Sync. Now this means you have all the flexibility and control when it comes to RGB lighting. So if you want to be able to control and synchronize the integrated RGB lighting zone, which is built into the I/O shroud that's on the board, or you want to be able to take advantage of the two RGB headers on the motherboard, you can easily do that all through the ASUS Aura Sync app. So if you want to be able to go ahead and control and synchronize everything from graphics cards to memory to SSDs, LED strips to fans, and a lot more, this board's going to have you covered. Now, while every gamer definitely cares about the aesthetics of their build, equally as important and especially apparent for this chipset is going to be the overclocking experience that this motherboard offers. The B450 chipset offers overclocking support for both the CPU as well as for the DRAM. And in this regard, ASUS's R&D team have definitely put in a lot of work to be able to offer you a stable and reliable overclocking experience. You've got a good quality VRM design with good quality power componentry so you can feel confident when you go about pushing the CPU to higher frequencies and placing them under more demanding game loads. In addition to this, you also have a high quality heatsink design to be able to ensure stable and cool operation for the VRM once it's under load. And beyond all this, you also have a wide range of options that are inside the UEFI BIOS. This allows you to go ahead and have a lot of control and granularity to be able to tweak and tune all the different aspects for the CPU and for the DRAM without any issues. And another new addition that we have to be able to go ahead and provide even a further improved overclocking experience, even in a mid-range series board like this, is going to be the inclusion of our ProCool power technology, where we use thicker gauge wires implemented in for the CPU power connection to be able to provide better current and power delivery. Now, continuing in the theme of overclocking, one aspect that a lot of users are definitely concerned about when it comes to AMD series motherboards is going to be how easy is going to be the overall experience when it comes to DRAM overclocking. And thankfully, with our series of motherboards, you're going to have an exclusive option that's going to be called DOCP memory profiling. This is an option that's built inside the UEFI BIOS, which allows you to easily and effectively go ahead and load the actual timings, frequency, and voltage for your XMP-enabled memory and go ahead and automatically apply them in the UEFI BIOS so you can go ahead and maximize the investment that you're making in your DRAM. Now, when it comes to overclocking, as we noted, the board has a wide range of options for manual tweakers and tuners, but there's many enthusiasts that are out there that might be new to overclocking or don't necessarily want to spend the time or effort to be able to go ahead and get the most out of your Ryzen 2nd series processor. And in this regard, you're going to have a lot of flexibility and a lot of ease of use if you go ahead and leverage our auto tuning technology, which is part of our 5-way optimization suite. This is a full automatic real-time auto overclocking process, which will automatically ratchet up the CPU's frequency, make adjustments to the actual voltage, as well as track the temperature and do it all in real time for you and leave you with a stable and reliable result. Now, you can't get too far away from talking about overclocking without also talking about cooling. And in this respect, the Strix B450 F gaming gives you tons of flexibility and control and connectivity when it comes to cooling your system. The board features our Fan Expert 4 technology, and this is a combination of both hardware, firmware, and software. So across the board, whether you're talking about tons of fan connectors that support both 3-pin and 4-pin base fans, the board's going to have you covered. But more importantly, you're going to have temperature input mapping so that you can have your fans respond to either the CPU temperature or the GPU temperature. You also care about how loud your system is going to be. And you can easily go ahead and control all these aspects by using our fan calibration and profiling technology. That means that we can automatically figure out what the minimum and the maximum speeds of your fans are through the click of a button in our Fan Expert 4 software. Now, when you're talking about a game gaming motherboard, of course, you have to talk about audio and networking. They're really two key cornerstones of the overall experience you're going to have in a gaming system. And definitely when we talk about audio, ROG boards are really known for really setting the benchmark in audio designs. Now, this being a Strix series board, it borrows heavily from our flagship ROG series of boards and features our Supreme Effects audio design. What does this mean? Well, you have a full isolated audio section on the motherboard, which helps to go ahead and mitigate any type of noise or interference from surrounding components. There's a shielded, high-quality S2 1220 audio codec, which is great in terms of its performance for stereo, 2-channel, as well as multi-channel content. And it also actually has an improved level of performance specifically for line in. So if you're a streamer or you're somebody that really takes a little bit microphone audio quality a little bit more seriously, you're actually going to get a bump up compared to previous generations in terms of the overall experience. But with Supreme Effects, it's not just limited to the audio codec and the shielding and the isolation of that audio codec. It's also the inclusion of high quality audio components. So you've got audio grade capacitors, which have improved tonality and richness to be able to add a warmth to the overall soundstage. You also have the inclusion of dual operational amplifiers built onto the board, which help to really punch up the overall soundstage, improve dynamic range, and actually give you higher volume levels. And definitely if you take advantage of high quality headphones, you're going to actually be more easily able to drive those headphones for overall a better experience. But Supreme Effects though, it's more than just the hardware, it's also a combination of the software level of improvement. And in this regard, we actually also are offering our Sonic Studio 3 application. Now this application gives you a lot of flexibility and control when it comes to not only the actual applications you're running on your system, but also games and even videos or movies on your system, because you're going to have the ability to go ahead and tailor different types of profiles specific to different games as well as different applications. You have the ability to fully customize the entire EQ range, and you can prioritize treble, bass, as well as go ahead and matrix 2-channel content into multi-channel if you're looking to be able to go ahead and add a higher level of immersion. We also offer specialized options to do some post-processing to incoming as well as outgoing audio, so that if you want to be able to improve your, let's say, your audio in TeamSpeak or Discord or whatever you're using in terms of voice chat, you also have these options available to you in Sonic Studio 3. Now, as we noted, equally as important as the audio experience is going to be the actual networking experience. ROG boards, once again, have really set a benchmark in the industry for offering class-leading networking designs. And with this Strix board, you're going to have a great implementation. You've got an Intel Gigabit NIC built on board, which gives you outstanding UDP packet performance. And you also have our Game-First Packet Priority Control software. This allows you to go ahead and easily manage all different types of network-centric applications. So that whether that's going to be your browser, whether that's going to be a game, whether that's going to be a download client, whatever it might be, you can go ahead and prioritize what receives the most bandwidth and the prioritization on your system. You also have a one-touch option to allow the actual Game-First application to automatically set prioritization based on what's running in the foreground. Now, all of these features and functions that this board brings to the table are great, and there's actually quite a number that we still haven't even noted. But definitely at the core of any type of PC DIY build is going to, of course, be your standard specifications, and this board's got you covered in terms of all those key aspects. You're going to have great high performance 4 slots in terms of the DDR4 compatibility. You're also going to be able to have 2 4x16 slots, and the way the board's actually gone ahead and been configured, it can support Crossfire X-based configurations. You also are going to have dual M.2 based implementations, which is something that's going to be rarer on B450 series motherboards. And we've also gone ahead and actually set up PCIe lane allocation so that if you're looking to be able to run dual M.2 in a RAID configuration by leveraging CPU lanes for the highest performing NVMe RAID setups, you're going to have that option be available to you on this board. Now, beyond that, you've got all the standard specifications you could ask for in terms of 6 SATA 6G ports. You're going to have USB 3. Gen 1 as well as USB 3.1 Gen 2, and also USB Type A and Type C based connections on board. And something I'm really a big fan of on this motherboard is that it leverages our higher-end boards and features a fully integrated I/O shield. Not only does this make the build process just that much easier, but it actually also improves resistance to EMI and ESD, helping you to have a more reliable system. Now, rounding out the key specifications for those of you that are actually going to be utilizing Ryzen series processors, which actually feature integrated Radeon graphics, this motherboard will also feature an HDMI 2.0 compatible out, as well as an integrated DisplayPort out, allowing you to go ahead and have the highest support in terms of variable refresh, as well as resolution support. So wrapping things up, I think it's pretty easy to see that if you take a look at all the different aspects of what the Strix B450 F is bringing to the table for those mid-range PC DIY building enthusiasts, then you're going to have pretty much all the different areas that you're really interested in covered, whether you're talking about great quality aesthetics, overclocking capability, cooling and connectivity, as well as rich I/O specifications, and of course improvements in audio networking. All the way around, this is going to be a great mid-range series boards for those of you looking to be able to build a brand new gaming system built on the B450 series chipset.